Shalom. Today my lesson is what Yah has to say about gossip. Yah gave me this lesson. He's been dealing with me, dealing with my heart. Disclaimer, I don't facilitate learning or promoting anything that I haven't dealt with or that I haven't had to examine my heart about first. It might be quite of a long lesson, but bear with me. Some good stuff, I just literally stopped writing because I'm like, okay, yeah. He's like, you gonna get this lesson out? I said, okay, I'll be obedient. And so here we are. Today I want to deal with what Yah says about gossip, what gossip is, who's at the root of gossip, and what it does to a community. As you know, we are promoting women's wholeness. Women, men alike, we are trying to build community. I say women because I'm dealing with women on my end. That's not that's not my calling. We have a moray that deals with the men, and we're all on and trying to stay on one accord, ehad, about what the king says, what living in Torah is, what living in community is, what it should look like, and to even be a part of community, there are some things that some fundamentals that we have to grasp. We spend so much time wanting to know Hebrew, and nothing wrong with that. We have to know the language so that we know, because what I'm going to show you today is going to be in the Hebrew and from a Hebraic standpoint, so that you can understand it and so that you get the concrete, sharp meaning of it. It's imperative to know your language and know the language and how Yah transcribed the word, gave the word to the men of old, the prophets, to transcribe to us, and for us to understand, to get the fullest understanding of it from its the original text. So, not to talk about not learning Hebrew. It's imperative that we do, so that we can understand what it is Yah has to say to us and what He has been conveying to us, and not for it to be veiled as it has been in the past. You know, our understanding and our learning has been veiled because of the transliteration and because the translating into English for one, and then other languages and other cultures adding their inflection and rhetoric and their own culture and context to it, and not the context and the culture that has been given to us. And the first scripture I want to deal with is Proverbs 18:21, and this is just to open it up. And like I said, I have a lot to share. I will try to stay on task because I am organized chaos. I can jump all over the place, but today I'm gonna stay in order. I really am going to try to. Proverbs 18:21. I'm gonna turn on this light. Excuse me. Now the sun was coming in the window and I turned it off, but now the clouds have come back. It's been raining here. I got some tea right there. Sorry. Excuse me. So Proverbs 18:21. Like I said, bear with me. We're going to go through scriptures. I have a lot of them for you. I will read some, but I'll give you some to take down and jot down. So I'll go through them slowly. I'm not in a rush. So yay, we get to spend some time together. Proverbs 18:21. I'll start at 20. No. I will start at 18 because I like this. So Proverbs 18:18. The lot causes contention to cease and parts between the mighty. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. So again, a brother offended, so this is life and death in 21, but in 19, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. Community. This is what we're dealing with. I'm talking about gossip, but just in general, community. Us in community, I hear it a lot. Why don't we have community? What is happening? Why don't people get together? A brother offended is hard to be won. Hard. You know, we come out of different backgrounds. We've come from different environments. We've come from different groups. Some of us are just coming in out of the world. Again, some of us have filtered through the church. All of us have all experienced offenses, right? So, gossip, what Yah has to say about it. Gossip it breaks up the community, and that is what we get a lot of in the Hebrew women's community is how do we stop this? And again, what does it look like, okay? And I'm just going to kind of stick to the script, and then as as we go on, I'll talk about more. We want to level jump, a lot of us. We want to learn Hebrew. I want to learn Hebrew. I want to learn how to speak it. I want to know how to say it. And again, all of these things that we want to do, there's nothing wrong with it. All things are should be done in decent order, right? But we want to level jump. First, we want to deal with community. How do we deal with one another so that we don't offend the brethren, right? So that we don't offend one another. Yah gave us 10 commandments, the 10 commandments, and we find the 10 commandments in Exodus. In Exodus and in Deuteronomy, and he's talking to us about, I'm going to be looking on my computer too, because it's quicker for me than turning the pages. So we'll find the 10 commandments in Exodus 20. And Yah spoke these words. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim, or out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other else before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or the earth beneath, or in the water below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I am Yah, your Elohim, am a jealous Yah, Elohim, punishing the children of the sins of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to thousands of generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of Yah, your Elohim, for your Elohim will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to Yahuwah your Elohim. On it you shall do no work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your town. For in 6 days Yah made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4. First 4, Yah teaching us how to reverence him. The first 4 are teaching us how to reverence him. Order, right? Not level jumping. When he brought the Hebrews or the Israelites out of the land of Mizraim, he did something first. He taught them how to deal with him first, right? Okay? So in the second half, he gave us interpersonal, still in order. Honor your mother and your father so that your life may be long in the land Yahuwah has given you. You shall not murder. Dealing again, one with another. You shall not commit adultery, interpersonal. You shall not steal, interpersonally and communal. You should not bear a false witness against your neighbor, interpersonal and communally. You should not covet your neighbor's house. You should not cover your neighbor's wife or his male servant or the female servant, his ox or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. And then when the people saw the thunder and the lightning and heard the trumpet, they trembled with fear, and they stayed at a distance. And then they asked Moshe to speak with them themselves, because that's a whole nother story. If you speak to Yah, we're going to surely die. So we see the last commandments are Yah dealing with us, showing us how to deal one with another, communally, interpersonally, and communally. First and foremost with him, right? So us wanting to do the latter instead, learn Hebrew before we learn the interpersonal or the commandments, or keep commandments, is really out of order, right? Yah told us to hear, O Israel. Yahuwah, your Elohim, is one. You'll see that in Deuteronomy 6. Yah is one. There is no confusion when it comes to him. He is one. Gossip means that we're too busy about our own agenda then, and other people's agenda, and spreading discord. Yah is one, and he's not the author of confusion or discord. So I have 3 words that I'll be dealing with right off. The first word for gossiping or gossip is a talebearer. Talebearer, a whisperer. A supplanter. Let's deal with a talebearer first. The word talebearer in Hebrew is Rachel, or Rachel. I'm trying to get that right. And the word, you will find it in your Hebrew Strong's 7400. Rachel is a resh, a kaf, a ayin. Ayin. Yeah, ayin. No big A down. Okay, a ayin and a lamet. This word literally means to travel for trading, or a scandal monger. We're going to look at the word. In Hebrew, resh is head, right? So the head, or first to know something, because that's what it is. A gossiper either knows something, or they're taking something that somebody else knows, and that told them, that whispered to them, and they're running to tell you because they want to be the first to tell you, right? The head has received something. So the person that knows something first, kaf is the palm of hands, to receive, and to add to it, towards something, to add towards. And this word comes from the root word Rachel, or Rachel. Rachel is, like I said, resh, kaf, ayin, lamet. Rachel is the root word, and you'll see that in your Strong 7402, and it means to travel for trading. Kaf, palm of hands, open to give or receive something, one or the other. And so we've been talking about idioms, and we'll see here, this is where one of our idioms come from, because I always remember, if a dog bring a bone, he'll take one back, right? Because people don't come, merchants come trading, right? Merchant ships come trading. So the word literally means a slanderer or slander bearer, to bring a bone or to take a bone. Let's read what Yah has to say about a talebearer. Proverbs 6:16-19. Told you, bear with me. It's going to be quite long, and it's going to start to flow a little bit better in a minute. I have a lot of stuff jotted down, and I'm trying to stay on task. So, Proverbs 6:16-19. These 6 things Yahuwah hates, yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that tells lies, and he that sows discord amongst the brethren. A slanderer, a talebearer, right? A merchant, travel for trading. The next one. We know what an abomination is as well. It's not tov, it's not functional. It doesn't function. It causes disorder, discord, and it goes against everything that Yah created. We know that in the beginning the earth was void and formless, and he hovered over his spirit hovered over the waters, right? It was tohu bohu. It was chaos. He spoke order into existence. So with our saying tongue, when we act as talebearers or whisperers, we cause discord and abomination. Ra, not tov. Okay? Proverbs 11:13. A talebearer reveals secrets, but he that is a faithful ruach conceals the matter. A talebearer goes to and fro, causing discord, but him who is of faithful ruach or spirit conceals the matter. Love covers a multitude of sin, right? Not saying that some of the stuff we don't know about people is or isn't true, but love covers, right? Because what we're doing here is, in community, we have to remember that as women, we are here to cover and mend and heal and help give women a safe place to be. There are a lot of things about a lot of us that aren't favorable, but to continue to spread it along so that you feel like you're the head with the information is a prideful position. And we need to really check our hearts, because we just read in the last script where it's an abomination and he hates it, right? Pride, sowing discord. Okay? Proverbs 18:8. This is all still dealing with the talebearer. 18:8. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. What did I say in the beginning? Proverbs 18:21. I mean, not 21, but 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like a bar of a castle. We coming out of Babylon wounded, not to come into community and get wounded again. Come on, sisters. Proverbs 20:19. He that goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore, meddle not with him that flatters with his lips. Another subject. We have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We have to pray about, again, in community, what we reveal and whom we reveal certain things to, because everybody ain't healed. Everybody's not whole. I know personally, myself, I am a sharer. And not just, not talking about gossip. I'm talking about, when I share, I'm talking about me. A lot of times I talk about me, but it's for the edification or the instructing or the healing of someone else, because I've been through a lot of things. And I have to learn, and Yah has been dealing with me on that. I have to ask for him to guard the gates of my mouth sometimes. Everything isn't for everybody. Trials and tribulations are testimonies, but not for everybody's ears. I've come to the I've come to the place where I know that Yah creates divine appointments for particular people and women and settings for others to be healed. And once certain things that have been revealed in a safe place are revealed somewhere else where other people weren't privy to that safe place, and it's not for the healing or edification of the community, I am, and I do, and I still am exercising that. I will remove myself from your company. It says it right here. So I am not being I'm picking my fruit. I'm judging the tree by the fruit it bears, and I have the right not to partake in it. And I'll just leave that there for now. But 2019 again, he that goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore, meddle not with him that flatters with his lips. Ladies, remove yourself from these little gossipy circles, wanting to know A, B, C, and D, level jumping, because most of us that want to know somebody else's business don't even know our commandments. I don't think, it's a few of them that don't know how to recite them, all 10. Let's stay in context, in decent and order. Let's deal with first things first. Let's learn how to deal with Yah's word. Let's learn how to deal with one another interpersonally and communally. And then let's move forward and get this word and get these words in our heart and hide his words in our heart and tend to our children and teach our children how to love and how to care for home and how to care for one another and how to cultivate a servant's heart and how to have compassion and love towards their brothers and sisters in the community and in their households. Proverbs 26:20. Where no wood is, there the fire goes out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceases. Oh, no strife with no talebearers, because you don't have nothing to do with people that reveal secrets. Then you're not in drama. There is no drama in certain communities or in certain, people want to call it clicky, but it's not click. It is, there has to be some wise ones amongst us. Because again, there are women coming out. There are men coming out too, wounded from Babylon. Never been covered, never been protected. And then the worst thing that could happen to one coming into truth is to come into truth and be wounded by someone who who they thought was a place of refuge, a place where they could come and receive healing and learning and gather and worship Yah in spirit and in truth together. Jeremiah 6:28. And forgive me, I am in my safar and I'm still learning. See, I'm still learning too. I'm still learning the order of it. Yah doesn't use perfect people. He perfects the people he uses. I'm learning, and I'm just here sharing what Yah has given me. 6:28. They are all grievous revolters, walking around with slanders. They are brass and iron. They are all corrupters. Ooh, talebearers. That is literally what he's talking about. Talebearers. Sorry, and also you can find the 10 Commandments, Exodus 31:18, Exodus 25:21, and Deuteronomy 10:2 and 5, I believe it is, where it talks about the commandments. So we talked about a talebearer, right? And what a talebearer is. And the word was Raquel, from the root word Rakal. Raquel spelled R-A-K-I-Y-L. And Rakal, R-A-K-A-L. Another word for a gossiper is a whisperer. Because gossipers usually don't say what they have to say very loud. They pull someone to the side, a willing subject or unwilling subject, who is available, whose ear is available, and they whisper. And the word for whisper is nirgan, N-I-R-G-A-N. And it's in your Hebrew Strong's 5372. And the word is spelled in the Hebrew like this: Nun, Resh, Gimel, final Nun. We know that Nun is the seed or activity or fish. Resh is the head or first. And again, dealing with first, we're dealing with the pride. The pride, head first. You want to be first, to know something. Gimel, foot. Camel, pride. Gimel, pride. Okay? So we'll say the Resh is first. They want to be first with the pride of the activity or the seed that they're going to plant. And it literally means, Nergan means to roll to pieces. Proverbs 16:28. A whisperer. I'm going somewhere with this. Just bear with me. Proverbs 16:28. It's going to get really good. 16:28. A froward man sows strife, and a whisperer separates chief friends. Chief, head, right? Chief friends. Separates chief friends. Separates people that were in position or at the head of something. Separates friends. It's to roll to pieces. They want to break up something. Sound a little iffy and scary, huh? When you start thinking about it, when I was going through this lesson, and we think whispering or gossip or conveying certain things is harmless. There was a time when we thought, so, ooh, do tell, ooh, so-and-so, girl, I got something to tell you. Found out this, and that. Separates chief friends. Psalms 41:7. Whisperer again. Negril. Nergan, I'm sorry, Negril. Nergan. I'm tired. I'm almost going to go to Jamaica or somebody. I want to travel. Calling things other names. So 41:7. All that hate me whisper together against me. Against me do they devise my hurt. Whispering hurts. Devising hurt. And this is, we'll go to 41:5. My enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die and his name perish? And if he come to see me, he speaks vanity. His heart gathers iniquity to himself. When he goes abroad, he tells it. And all that hate me whisper together against me. Against me do they devise my hurt. The whispering hurts they devise. You sit around, and it's usually a group of people that have conveyed or spoken about a person. And it's hurtful when you find out a group of people have talked about you, because my concept is this. How did I come up? How did the subject happen? Why were you there and you know what they said about me, and either it was divulged to you and you didn't stop them if you were a friend. So you see how it separates chief friends, or it shows that this person partook in it. The word have nothing to do with a forward man. The word forward is tapuka, and it means perverse or forward, or to pervert, change, overthrow, tumble, turn aside, or contrary. You'll see that word tapuka in your Hebrew Strong's 8419. The root of gossip, basically. The root of gossip is pride, false omnipotence, operating in the same chain of command as the devil. Hasatan, the fallen ones, and they are looking for a host to carry out. He's looking for a host to carry out. Just as he is looking for a host to carry out his agenda, that is what happens when we whisper. We're looking for a host to carry out our agenda because, again, to roll to pieces. Usually when you're whispering, you're not conveying the whole story because you only get bits and pieces. It's being rolled into pieces. Remember, the slanderer is a talebearer, and they travel to and fro, traveling. Kaf, resh, kaf, ayin, lamed, towards something, looking to bring and take something away. Bring a bone, take a bone. See that? So the root of gossip, what is the root of gossip? Again, I told you, pride and false omnipotence. The enemy whispers. He does not know everything, so he plays telephone too. We'll look at that in a minute too, where we see in Genesis 3:21. Not 3:21, I'm sorry. When we see in Genesis 3, where it was told to Chua, oh, you will not surely die. And we'll look at what the tongue of the serpent was and what that was him whispering or speaking deception. A person that, so that was just Psalms 41:7. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me go to Romans 1:29. Romans 1:29, a whisperer. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, whispering maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, and backbiters, haters of Yah, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to their parents, without understanding, and the list goes on, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Backbiters, whisperers, malicious. The intentions are malicious. 2 Corinthians 12:20. Second Corinthians 12:20. For I fear lest when I come I shall not find you such as I would, and that I shall be found unto you such as ye would not, lest there be debates, envying, wraths, strifes, backbiting, whisperings, swellings, tumults. What I say again? What's at the root of gossip? The root of gossip is pride, false omnipotence. We don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. There's always three sides to a story. His, hers, and Yah's truth. We know a lot of times people will tell the part of the story that makes them not look guilty, and the other person may tell the side that makes them not look guilty. But Yah knows the truth. And so when we look at gossip and when we look at what it does to the community, I'm a compare and contrast kind of person. And there's only two things that come to mind. There's either just like the words the words of Hebrew they carry negative and positive charges. The same thing, in the same way it goes with the actions have negative and positive charges. We know that a merchant is a good thing if a merchant is bringing good things, right? Blessed are the ones who feet come swift with the good news. So there's a negative and positive charge to everything, but the merchant, he comes and he trades. Merchants trade, and that's good. That is what they did at the ports, where they had the stores, the marketplace. You had people coming from all over, trading spices, trading services, bartering, tent making, mending fishermen's nets. All of these things, that was the positive part of it. But these right now, I'm dealing with the negative charges of it. And so we know that Yah doesn't whisper. He doesn't deal in secrets. Hasatan likes secrets so that he can hold you hostage with the secrets. And a lot of times, again, in community too, we witness others wondering if they've been if someone likes them, or are you mad at me, or did I offend you? No. Usually, if I'm offended, myself personally, I will go to the person and address the offense before I deal with anything and anybody else. Usually, when there are things that have happened or taken place in community that I've witnessed, and just even in friends outside of community, is either people have discussed one another, things have been said, and now you're wondering if the other person knows. So now you're walking around guilty. Hasatan likes secrets, right? Like I said. Yah does not deal in secrets. He says he reveals his dealings to us, right? Outright. And we'll see that in Genesis 18, 17 through 9, where he deals with Abram. And we know if you don't know, I'll go into the context of it. We know that Yah was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abram's nephew Lot was there, and is this the right? Excuse me. Yes. And so he was going to destroy Sodom. This was right after he had given the news that Sarai would give birth to Isaac. So, I said Yah reveals his dealings to us outright. And this is scripture. We're not going to make up anything. We're going to look it up, and we're going to go through it together today. Genesis 18, 17 through 19. And Yahuwah said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed of him? For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall guard the way of Yahuwah to do justice and judgment, that Yahuwah may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. And then we see 20. Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which has come up to me unto me, and if not, I will know. So again, Yah reveals things outright. It's not a secret. Tells you exactly what he's going to do. Told Sarai, told Abram, hey, within a year's time, same time this year, you're going to have a baby. No secrets, no whispering, right? He came and he told him. He reveals with us and he deals with us outright. John 15:15. Just trying to paint the canvas, prime the canvas for the picture. So it might seem long. But again, I said I want to share this because it was something that Yah really dealt with me with. Even listening to gossip. I don't like to be in the middle of anything, especially not gossip and mess. That is not my nature. Matter of fact, I always tell people it take me 24 hours to mind my own business. I don't have time for anybody else's. So a lot of times I'm praying for Yah to give me a heart to encourage and to be compassionate, but also to stop things that aren't edifying or that don't build or don't. I'm trying to find John in my group. Let me just find it over here. Like I said, I'll be going back and forth from my CFAR to my computer because I'm not very familiar with this, and I didn't bring my other Bible. I will no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I have learned from my Father, I have made known to you. So what we should be desiring to know is what Yeshua knows. We are supposed to be modeling Yeshua's work, right? Keeping these commandments, walking in truth. That's why I said wanting to know somebody else's business is being busy with our own agendas. And again, that's why at the root of pride, at the root of gossip, there's pride. Because we want to have an agenda. It's not about us. It's not about us. It's not about us. I know I want it to be sometime, but it ain't about me. I say that a lot of times. Why me? Why do I have to deal with this? Why not you? You're mine, right? That's what Yah says. You're available. You said you're available, right? You said you present your body a living sacrifice. Why not you? Okay. So again, we should be about our Father's business. Everything that Yeshua know, he came here and lived it out. First there were the commandments. Then there were then he came and walked them out. Then he leaves them for us. We are supposed to be walking them out, teaching them diligently to our children, not worrying about somebody else's business, why so-and-so don't do what they don't do, and what are we doing? What are we doing? Self-examination. As I go further into, I'm going to deal with that too, the self-examination. Psalms 25:14. Yahuwah confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. Again, 25:14. Yahuwah confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. When we are busy about obeying the law, statutes, and commandments, he reveals what he wants us to do for him to us. Not what he needs. He don't need us, because like I said, the rocks can cry out if he want them to. But because he desires a relationship with you, he reveals and confides in us what he wants us to know when we are obedient to him. Not when we mind in somebody else's business, but when we mind in his business. Literally this morning, like I said, I have stuff written all over the place because I'm washing dishes, and he said, yeah, today you're going to do this lesson about gossip. And I'm like, okay, y'all, but I haven't written it out. And I'm washing dishes, and boom, 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 boom. He's showing me scriptures that I have not even seen before. He's saying these words to me, speaking to me. I'm not speaking to myself, because some of these scriptures I have never personally read. I've read over them, but I've never took the time to observe it. He's giving me these scriptures, and I go look for the address, of course. I type in, okay, he confides in those, and I find the Psalm. Never read that one before. So when you're minding his business, he will reveal some things to you. And then the next step is, are you going to do what he told you to do? And that's be obedient. So Psalms 24, he reveals his dealings to us outright. Now, somebody I don't like to talk about, but we have to expose certain things, right? So Hasatan deals in lies. Matthew 7:21 through 23. It says, not everyone who says to me. Here it says, Lord, Lord. And we know that Lord, I get a lot of strife if I don't say it, means Baal. So Lord, Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven. But only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, or Baal, Baal, Baal. Did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform any miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. You weren't about my business. You weren't doing what I asked you to do. You weren't even calling me. You were doing, again, carrying out your own agendas. You were sowing discord. You were keeping holidays instead of feast days. Must be about our Elohim's business. Lies, right? The true and the false disciples. This is what this is talking about. Acts 13:9 through 10. Then Saul, who was also called Paul, and we know his name was Shaul, filled with the Holy Spirit, looked straight at Elymas and said, you are a child of the devil and an enemy of everything that is right. You are full of all kinds of deceit and trickery. Will you never stop perverting the right ways of Elohim? We pervert the right ways of Elohim when we sow discord in our own community. Women, men, we sow discord when we don't treat our wives right. Treat a woman like you would treat yourself. When we don't sanctify her, we cause discord in our community, in our own community. When we promote a whole lot of other agendas and say the word says stuff that it hasn't said. Acts 13:9 through 10. Lies. When we spread lies. When we go about as talebearers and whisperers. Proverbs 22:24 through 25. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. Lies. Ensnared in lies. Ensnared in gossip. Just because you're there at the right time listening. I remember telling my girls a long time ago, remove yourself. It is better to be called whatever somebody want to call you than to be called, I'd rather you call me anything. Call me late for dinner. Anything except for a child of Yah. I don't want any parts of foolishness. We have to learn to flee, because we know that Hasatan deals in lies. Whispering usually includes lies. We'll get deeper into that. Proverbs 22, that's 22, 24 through 25. Because this is what the word says about a liar or someone who spreads gossip and what it entails. We know that someone who gossips is acting as a supplanter. And we see supplanter in two different, again, I said the words have positive and negative charges. Supplanter, we'll look at Jeremiah 6:28. I think I just read that earlier. So we'll look at Jeremiah 9:4. Beware of your friends. Do not trust anyone in your clan, for every one of them is a deceiver, and every friend is a slanderer. So this is what he let's see if I can find some of the context of this. In the beginning, let's go back to Jeremiah 9. We know they had been sent into captivity. And Jeremiah 9 talks about, oh, that my head were waters and my eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughters of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them. For they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. So you know their sins had caused them to be thrown into captivity. And Jeremiah is lamenting. And they bend their tongues like the bows for like their bows for lies. But they are